and you take this into test mode, therefore taking CCU1 offline, then you're going to get a slowdown. Then you have no other choice. Okay, so just remember, when in chief access, you're able to make changes to the engine and the control system that are both good and also bad for the engine and control system. Cool. So here we are looking at the we are looking at the alarms folder, and we can see that we have across the right hand side alarms list, event log, manual cutout, and channels list. So the channels list is showing you all the possible alarms that you have in the engine control system. So in this software, I have a possible 1,882 alarms in my control system. I can highlight them, I can move down one at a time, I can move down a page at a time, or I can go all the way down to the bottom and all the way to the top again. Highlighting the individual alarms will give me a selection, and then I can find an alarm. We just take this one here, press the info button, and then we can see that it's telling us we have information of this alarm, and it is ACU1 ID key, the ACU1 control. I cannot read the ID key data. Cause, ID key is not plugged in, data is corrupted, hardware failure, control failure. Then you will be able to use the other alarms, if there are any, to identify what's going on. It gives you the cause, effect, and action. There are two types of alarms. We have a specific alarm telling you exactly the action you should take, or you have another alarm, which is a generic one, which tells you a suggested action, as it has no specificity in the alarm itself, so it will tell you to try this, this, and this. The channels list is for reference only. So when you've had your Sunday afternoon and you know that you have nothing else to do, which is not very often, then you can start from the top and read through all the alarms down to the bottom one in your 3-month contract, or however long your contract is. Okay, so the channels list is for reference only. The alarms list is the now. This is where you would go to monitor alarms if needed. If they are raised, then you are to use this page for troubleshooting. So you can see here I have a group alarm, and as it's a group alarm, I have a plus symbol here. Therefore, I have to press the plus minus at the bottom. And then you can say, okay, I need to find out on this one, on the group alarm, it's telling me what's happened. Standby pump started. And then I go to the specific alarms being raised by the specific controller. Okay. There's a question here. So everything can be done from the MOP, no need for a separate laptop PC. I'm not quite sure what you mean by the laptop PC. When you're doing anything with the engine, it's all done from the MOP screens. So if I was to have an alarm shown here, so you can see I have some symbols at the top. Circle with a 1 and a circle with a 3. So the 1 is telling us how many unacknowledged alarms I have. The 3 is telling us how many active alarms I have. So you can see 1, 2, 3. The group alarm line is not taken into consideration with the value shown here. So we only have 3 alarms. It is red, and if I was to go through any page now, you can notice at the top the alarm is still showing you. So the oldest unacknowledged alarm is still shown across the top here. I have just indicated or just initiated other alarms. You can see the number now has gone to 5, but still the oldest unacknowledged alarm is still shown in the taskbar. I can either click on the taskbar itself, sorry, the information bar across the top, and then you can see the number now goes to 4 unacknowledged alarms. And then you can see the 5, so the total of the alarms is 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These two, even though they are not acknowledged, you can see we have the exclamation marks. They are now green, so they were alarms, but now are no longer alarms. However, they do not disappear. The system requires human interaction. Therefore, for us to get rid of the alarm, we can either go down, highlight the alarm by clicking on it, and press acknowledge, one alarm at a time, or we can press the all and it acknowledges a page at a time. Once the alarms or the problem has been resolved, then the alarms will excuse me, the alarms will disappear and you'll have a blank page. If there are any alarms that are raised, what we can do is we can say, okay, if we know that one of the alarms here, we accept it, we press info, read the alarm, take action from the alarm. If we cannot rectify it straight away, we know that, okay, this is the lube oil pressure 1204. We'll go to the auxiliaries. We'll see this one here. Then we will be able to invalidate the value. And then we can do something that's called cut out the alarm. So we can highlight in chief access, cut it out. Therefore, we're removing it from the alarms page. So now it is over here in the manual cutout list. So we are telling the system to ignore or stop giving us the indication. We're aware of the status in the alarm. Then we see over here now, it disappears from the active list, going now over to the manual cutout list. So we have number of unacknowledged alarms, number of active alarms, number of manually cut out alarms, and number of invalidated inputs. The 3 circles are for your alarms, the 1 square is for your invalidated input. If the alarm is in this page here and you rectify the fault and you do not remove it from the manual cutout because you have told the system to ignore it, if you get the alarm again, it doesn't show here. It only shows here in the cutout list, and if you watch the status, changes from normal to alarm. But you can see there is no alarm raised because you are telling it to not inform you. Okay, so remember that when you have rectified the fault, you should remove it from this list so it can be monitored again. So you would just press reactivate, it would disappear from here. Okay, are there any questions to do with the alarms list? Any questions to do with the manual cutout list? Okay. The event log. The event log is all the alarms that ever happened on your engine control system. The event log stores 1 million alarms. So the newest alarm will automatically delete the oldest alarm. Here we can see we can go from the top to the bottom, all the way to the top, all the way to the bottom by using the arrow keys. And we can go down a page at a time, page up at a time. We can also go down 1 alarm at a time. It is entirely up to you guys what you use it for. Here we are monitoring the here we are logging the